Welcome to Deep Thought. Once again, people are living secondhand lives. Like I said, once again, because you know what? I keep being moved to talk about that because I just talked about that recently and I talked about it a couple years ago. And it's something I see, especially with social media now. People living secondhand lives. Now, not the content creators or stars or people out here doing stuff, but other people who follow them. And it's always been that case when people, they so busy following in the news or celebrity magazines what other people are doing, they ain't really living their own life. They more concerned with the other person's life. They living their life. In fact, they living their lives like zombies. They just going through the motions, but be all concerned with what this other person doing. You know, concerned about, oh, well, yeah, this movie star dealing with that person, or, you know, they having sex, or there's some drama there. And it goes beyond entertainment. People be identifying with these people. Because then when these people get in trouble, these people, you get their fans hurt. And I'm like, don't do that. That's a secondhand life. What are you doing for yourself? That's important. Now, there's nothing wrong with paying attention to what others are doing. You know, you can be a fan of theirs. That's cool. But remember, at the end of the day, that's their lives. And then even if you following celebrities or even content creators, because YouTube getting big. YouTube, and social media, it's like TV once was. So an ordinary person can have a large following. But at the end of the day, that's still that person. That's not you. You know? That's not you. And you living there, you wondering about their lives, like they disappoint you because they had some trouble with their mate. Well, that's them. That's not you. Because see, the thing to remember about any person with a public persona, it's just that. You really don't know. I don't care how open they are. They're not showing you everything. I mean, in most cases, I do mean most cases, they ain't showing you their sex life. They ain't showing you their problems. They ain't showing you them taking a shit. But then you all up in their stuff. You really don't know. But then at the end of the day, it's them. Because, you know, you got some people, they to the point, they even follow the clothing style of someone. Indeed, one of the things that motivated me to do this, somebody actually, on a comment, and they actually said to me, oh yeah, you know, they try to mimic how I speak and everything. And I told them, you got to live your own life. Because what works for me, then they actually said it worked for them, but I was like, at the end of the day, that's a mask. At the end of the day, that's a mask, you know, and one day that mask is going to come out. And that's a secondhand life. Instead of developing your own life, you know, or your own personality, your own what you're doing, you following someone else. Is that what you want to do? Think about it. Think about it. Indeed, when people get mad at others, I'm like, okay, that's them. They got in trouble. Okay, that's them. Unless I knew them personally, I don't worry about them. Even if I paid attention to whatever they presented, at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, okay. The end of that, okay, oh, well. You know what? Because I'm focused on my own stuff now. Some people might say, well, Rom, you got YouTube channels. You doing all this. You writing a book. Yeah, because I focused on myself. Like, I remember, okay, let's talk about something. Porn. I've never got into porn. Now, I've seen porn. I ain't going to pretend like I ain't seen it, but I never got into it. Because for one simple reason, I'm like, well, I want to sit and watch another man bone the shit out of some woman that I'm thinking is sexy. And I'm sitting here watching. I'm like, nah, I want to be the star of my own porn. You know? Or even, and I've been to some strip clubs, of course. And I'll be the cheapest person in there. I would just pay just enough. You know, you get some place, they require you at least buy a beer or something. Okay, that's fine. I would be cheap. I could probably count the number of money I actually gave some women, like literally count. Because I was cheap. And when I did give, it'd be like $1. $1. It wasn't raining. $1. Because I'm like, you know, I don't have time for the fancy. You ain't touching me or anything. What good is this? You know, because I want to live my life. I don't like the fantasy and all of that. But see, that's part of the problem. You get too many people. They don't like their lives, so they follow the fantasy. And indeed, that's in media. When they smart in entertainment, that's what they present. even on reality shows. Because let's say reality shows are more accurate, be called unscripted. They're unscripted, but they still got directors. And I'm guaranteed they'll sit down beforehand and say, okay, you can talk about this, this, and this. And plus, when they cast those things, trust and believe that they have some psychologists and they'll say, okay, this is general what this person's going to do. So it's not, it ain't totally random. They go through a bunch of people and they try to get an idea what they're going to do. Trust me. And even that's still secondhand. You still watching somebody else. I mean, do you want to live your life watching somebody else enjoy their lives? Now, I'm serious, too. Because you got some poor people, they enjoy watching somebody living big. Got that big Willie thing. Got the money, having the fun and shit. What's that doing for you? I'm looking at, if I see it, I might watch one time and say, oh, they got that going on. You know what? I like that. Let me work on my stuff. So I got it going on. I don't want to live a second-hand life. I want to live a first-hand life, a first-hand experience. And people need to think in those terms. People need to think in those terms. Everybody listening, you need to think, well, what can I do to present my life? What can I do? What can I do to have fun? What can I do to do some stuff that's enjoyable? Can I look at my life and say, I've done something? Because I'm serious about that. I think everybody should be able, when they make that transition to the afterlife place, they should be able to look back at their life and say, you know what, I did this, this, and this. Not follow this, this, and this, but I accomplished this, this, and this. Everybody, every single person got some talent in them and everything. That's why I'm like, y'all know me, I'm not a follower. For that reason, because I'm like, nah, I'm going to live my own thing. Forget all the rest of that stuff. And people need to just stop. People need to work on it. Now, it's tough. It's tough sometimes because we actually do live in a society which promotes followers, which promotes people following others, And some people are just built to follow. But still, even within that context, you can still live on your terms as best as possible. All right? So anyway, had to address it again. I know I'm going to address it again before the year is out. So anyway, that's all I have for now. Get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.